EGM Network.
Hey, Jess, we're back again.
Hey, Bill.
Number 26.
Yes, sir.
The beat goes on, baby.
It does.
Hey, this podcast is going to be directed basically at global warming is totally out of control, and we're going to call it something else on the thing. But it's really out of control, folks, and we're going to try to demonstrate that to you this week and next week, okay? And the folks that are a big help in demonstrating that to you is Evergreen Media. Never leave home without my American Express card. And I don't do a podcast without Evergreen Media and Jesse James, right, Jesse?
Thank you, Bill. Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, podcast number 26, right? Boston Red Sox 26. Who was it, Jess?
Marty Barrett.
No.
Oh, okay.
Back in 1967, we dreamed the impossible dream here.
I don't know.
Johnny Wyatt.
Johnny Wyatt, huh?
You made Johnny Wyatt famous?
I never heard of him. No.
Oh, Johnny Wyatt. He was a relief pitcher. He played for maybe 9 years in the major leagues, different teams.
Okay.
He was with the Red Sox, and there's a lot of talk about people throwing the spitball back in those days.
Right.
Johnny didn't throw the spitball. He threw the Vaseline ball.
Okay.
He lowered his hair up with Vaseline going. He's a relief pitcher. Always taking his hat off.
Yeah.
Ended up with a lot of Vaseline on his fingertips, He didn't throw the spitter. He threw the Vaseline ball. That's what I remember about Johnny Wyatt. Okay.
Do what you can, right?
Yeah,
You got to do what
right.
you can.
Whatever you do, right?
That's right.
Hey, we're looking for the truth, folks. We try to find facts, cut it down, and demonstrate the facts to you. And regardless of what the political rhetoric sounds like, it's usually very misleading, if not a downright lie.
Yeah.
Our political system's a disaster. Someday I'm going to talk about the political system as a whole, but there's too many important things right now to talk about. In global warming, it's real. It's not a hoax, right, Jess?
That's right. It's happening.
Okay.
Boy, all you got to do is step outside.
Yeah. We got any records here we're talking about, Jess?
I believe so. Yeah. The records are being smashed in the desert Southwest United States right now as we speak. ABC has this latest report, and it is frightening. I'm going to play it for you right now.
Now, let's talk about that heat, because we told you that it is dangerous. Saturday, we could see 116 in Las Vegas. You say, okay, but it's, nearly August in the desert. Well, that would tie their hottest August temperature on record. They are coming off 6 nights at 90 plus, which is also a stretch that they've never done in recorded history. Most of those records go back to the late 1800s.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, that's my favorite girl on all the channels.
Yeah.
Ginger, yeah, she's a real beauty.
Yeah, I love Ginger Z.
Yeah, okay, cool. We have something in common, I guess, right? Hey, global warming is here. Records are being destroyed. The heat is unbelievable. Temperatures not dropping below 90 is scary.
Yeah.
Okay? That doesn't give the planet a chance to cool off.
Right.
Okay, if you start at 90, you're going 110, 120, who knows, right?
Yeah, and it's not cooling off at night either. Yeah,
No, you're absolutely right. And every year it's getting worse, and we'll be able to see that a little further down this podcast. I wish the weather people would call it for what it is, and Ginger does a pretty good job describing how bad it is. But it'd be nice if they use the word global warming. It might start waking people up.
Yeah.
Because, it seems like these big entities, billionaire corporations that own all these news medias, they don't want to use the term global warming. And it is global warming. And we will be demonstrating that this week and next week. Right, Jess?
That's right. That's right, Bill.
Okay.
That's right. So as Donald Trump, the president, promotes nuclear power, regulators are seeking to eliminate a long-standing radiation safety practice that has been in place for decades. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission is proposing to eliminate a foundational safety principle that has, for 50 years, minimized the radiation the people in the United States are exposed to. And that has been adopted around the world.
That's right. We've been a leader. We were once a leader in, doing things the right way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've kind of fallen off the rails, Jeff.
Yeah.
To the forever Trumpers, what benefit do you see in this? Okay, dropping off the regulations that are going to protect people's health. That's what they're doing, and that's what the EPA is doing. They're eliminating all these regulations. There'll be more on that later. And radiation contamination will increase, and this is a benefit for nobody except for billionaire corporations. Right, Jess?
That's right.
is this video a wake-up call, Jess? We got a video that maybe people could take a close look at while we're here?
Yeah, this is from ABC News.
This morning, firefighters in Europe racing to contain the massive infernos tearing through Spain and France. The flames apocalyptic, forcing Europe's biggest batch of evacuations since World War II. More than 350,000 people across the two countries.
It's simple. If you look around the world today, folks, the handwriting is on the wall. The world is in a global warming crisis. The world has a widespread drought conditions, worldwide warming, worldwide wildfires, as we just saw on the video here.
Mm-hmm.
Trump is claiming global warming as a hoax. Trump plays golf more than any other president. So remember this saying, Nero fiddled while Rome burns. Trump and his friends and family enrich themselves while our world burns. Trump has not drained the swamp. The swamp has only gotten bigger. Right, Jess?
Amen to that, Bill.
DC to Jess J. Let's go.
Yeah.
Podcast 26. Let's get to the details here, Jess.
All
That's
right.
the intro. It's over.
All right. So we're going to review some of the effects of global warming and identify who has caused global warming. So then we're going to identify who's responsible for global warming that the world is experiencing today. So let's review the major problem with global warming. One of the major symptoms is drought. And we're going to show you some pictures from Reuters here. We can give them credit. This first one, we're looking at the San Carlos Reservoir near Peridot, Arizona. The reservoir is 99% empty.
Jess, do you think this is what Donald Trump was talking about when he said drain the swamp, drain the reservoirs? Is that like a swamp? What do you think?
I don't know, but that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is photo number 2. We're looking at low water levels at the base of the Coolidge Dam at the San Carlos Reservoir. The San Carlos Reservoir is currently at critically low level at roughly 99% empty.
Yeah, it'll show. We have something a little later on to dramatize that. So everybody take a real close look at this picture, freeze it in your brain, and you'll see what it should look like under normal circumstances.
Right, there you go. Yeah, so that's what it should look like. Okay, so this is a new solar farm erected next door to Kaywood Farms in Casa Grande, Arizona.
You know, Trump is against clean solar energy. Right. Arizona should be the leader in providing non-toxic solar energy to create electricity in the United States. Times have changed in the last 20 years. We can no longer use Colorado River to flooded desert, which is Arizona is, to grow crops. The water from the Colorado River is much too precious.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this next photo, we see a view of the Coolidge Dam.
A close-up.
Yeah, a close-up of the same dam at the San Carlos Reservoir near Peridot in Arizona.
Yeah, it's the Coolidge Dam is 99% empty, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll have something to show you what 100% full looks like, Jess.
Right, yeah. So this is when the reservoir was almost full. This is back in 2014, I believe. That's from Wikipedia. That's the Coolidge Dam there with water.
That's
considerably more water than we just saw.
Yeah, when it was like that, you could afford to flood the desert to grow crops.
Right.
With the water we have coming down to Colorado now, Colorado River, there is no excess water anymore. Yeah, it's evaporating. It's snow melt is not is snowfall is not like it used to be. 20 years ago. So we're not getting that slow melt. So anyway, right? The Donald J. Trump wants to address global warming drought problems before sending. I think he should before sending people to the moon and Mars. The military's unnecessary involvement with Zionist conflict in the Middle East, and billions of dollars are being wasted.
Yeah.
On there. Let's go to Mars. Who's making that money? Bezos and not Trump, Bezos and what's that guy?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Thanks a lot. See, when you get old like me, folks, you can't remember anything. Right, Jess?
That's right. Hey, they like to say America first. Maybe we should make it Earth first.
Earth first.
And then, Mars and beyond second.
Yeah. We should go to Mars when we don't have a national debt.
Yeah.
I'm all for going to Mars. Really, I really am. But I'm also for Social Security and Medicare too,
Yeah. Taking care of our own. Absolutely. Yeah. So I kind of lost my spot here, Bill. But, So global warming has been the cause of drought conditions around the world, as you can see. The drought will affect food production around the world. Major artificial intelligence data centers like Meta and Amazon projects will consume millions of gallons more water on a daily basis.
Without a doubt. I mean, I looked it up. I was shocked to see how much water they use.
Yeah.
So, if you come up with something that like this artificial intelligence that comes up online, it puts out 122 lines. It consumes a 16-ounce bottle of water. Is the cost of doing that. That's how much it takes to cool
those big computers.
Those computers. They measure it down, to gallons and what, but 122 lines, a bottle of water. Is that shocking?
A lot of water. That's a lot of. It is. It really is.
It is to me anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's continue with David Muir.
Sure. Yeah. So like you were saying, the global warming is impacting rivers in the United States. Let's look at the Colorado River. David Muir took a tour. David Muir of ABC News, and let's watch this video here.
We can see the Colorado River snaking its way through the canyon, but we notice something else too. There are parts of the canyon changed by climate.
So this rock formation that we're looking at used to be surrounded by water. Correct. Now completely surrounded by dry land.
Now, 70 years later, the sheer number of people who depend on the water from the Colorado River, it's staggering.
So this dam right here is a reminder of what this river is being used for and the tens of millions of Americans who depend on this water.
40 million Americans rely on this water.
But on the other side of the dam, a looming crisis.
The fact that Lake Powell on the other side of this dam, which is supposed to be full because of this dam, it is no longer.
It's currently at about 23% full.
How concerning is that?
Very. It's alarming because we're in our third decade of drought that's impacted by a hotter, drier climate. We have too many straws in the drink, basically, and it's hard to claw that back.
So bottom line, Americans everywhere have a vested interest in the future of this river.
Completely.
Yeah, basically that dam is 77% empty, right?
Yeah.
3 decades of drought, and we've shown pictures before that show that global warming took off in the early 2000s, like the mid 1990s, right, Jess?
Right.
And that fits into the drought that they're incurring in the western part of the country. Global warming may reduce the Colorado River to just a trickle compared to what it once was, right, Jess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we just saw that area from a plane. It had no water around it.
Right.
So let's look at it again here.
Here's another striking photo. A boat left stranded where water once was. Or here's an archived photo of the Hoover Dam, followed by a shot from 2022. At that moment, the big question was what to do next. Because if power generation grinds to a halt, it's a catastrophe for tons of people, businesses,
There's that rock.
There's that rock, yeah.
Right there, yeah.
It's got water in this video,
lots of water then, That's what it's supposed to look like, folks. It's not supposed to be a desert around it.
Right.
But that's what we have today, right?
That's right.
So this is kind of proof that global warming has had a major cause and effect of the Colorado River.
Absolutely.
Okay, Justin.
Absolutely. All right. Has global warming this winter impacted farmers along the Colorado River, and are they facing severe water shortages today?
Yeah, they really are. But, I'm going to rely on somebody from PBS, Miles O'Brien. He is really a fabulous reporter. He really digs down and gets the facts. So let's see what Miles has to say.
This past winter was an extraordinarily dry one in the western part of the country. A lack of snowpack that normally feeds the Colorado River has only deepened the impact of a wider drought out west, which affects tens of millions of people in 7 states and Mexico. And this spring and summer, that drought, made worse by climate change, is taking a big bite out of farmers' plans in Colorado. Our science correspondent, Miles O'Brien, has this report for our series, Tipping Point.
Jason Ullman is the state engineer. He is responsible for managing one of Colorado's most precious resources, water. He took me on a tour of the Uncompahgre River Valley, a tributary of the Colorado. How would you characterize that river relative to other springs?
So we would expect there to be hundreds of cubic feet per second here. This is approximately 4 CFS, so very low for this time of year.
4 cubic feet. You know what that means in a 24-hour day? It would add to the Colorado River 345,000 cubic feet of water.
Okay.
At a couple of hundred cubic feet a minute, that would add 17,280,000 cubic feet of water to Colorado River. And that's why there's a problem.
Yeah.
There's no source of water anymore. It's all drying up. We're in a drought, and we're in global warming, and it's not coming back. As time goes on, it only gets worse, Jess, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
The farmers only have enough water to irrigate. Oh, we're going to show a clip on that, right?
Yes. Here's another clip from PBS NewsHour.
Farmers here are accustomed to shortages and curtailments.
With our water situation, we've had to fallow pretty much half of all the fields that we have.
Reed Fishering grows sweet corn in Delta County. As we walked his farm, he showed me the stark line between the fields he was able to plant and those he was forced to leave fallow.
This shows the demarcation line of possible money versus us having to just sit fallow and not make any money on it. So this kind of represents our economic outlook for 2026.
In a normal year, Fishering plants about 1,000 acres. This year, it's closer to 500. What we saw on the western slope of Colorado is just one small part of how the 25-year drought, fueled by climate change, has affected the entire Colorado River system. Lakes Meade and Powell, 2 giant reservoirs downstream that provide water to California, Arizona, Nevada, tribal nations, and Mexico, are at critically low levels.
Every single year we seem to be hit by something new, and this almost feels like this hopefully is not the last nail in the coffin, but it has the looks of it for sure.
Okay, I feel bad for this farmer, okay?
Yeah.
This farmer only has enough water to irrigate half his farm. Does that mean the price of food is going to increase based on supply and demand?
Yeah, I believe so.
Pure economics, what do you think?
Yeah, and when the supply goes down, that price is going to go up.
Price is going up, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of the Depression in the 1930s, okay? And I think what we really need to do, what our country really needs to do, and what our government really needs to do, really needs to be done in Arizona, Nevada, and New Mexico, because those are basically desert-type areas. Basically, they should be converted to solar farms, clean energy, producing solar farms, right? No toxic waste, nothing, just clean energy, solar farms, cheap energy for the whole region. You can't go wrong with that.
Absolutely.
So they basically could support enough energy to supply electricity to all of the states in that area. And one other thing that's worth mentioning, the hydroelectric, just with Colorado River coming down, if the flow drops so low that there's not enough force, it won't be able to spin the turbines and it won't be able to produce electricity. So we're heading in that direction, folks.
Yeah.
We're on our way. We'll show you a little later on, but we're very much on our way, right, Jess?
That's right, yeah.
What about the Rio Grande, Jess? We got anything with that?
Unfortunately, we do have something on the Rio Grande.
It's unbelievable.
Here we go.
I'd like to talk a little bit about how we got here, which is truly unprecedented conditions from a hydrologic standpoint. We just experienced the lowest snowpack on record in the Rio Grande Basin. In fact, at what would have been the peak snowpack level in the upper Rio Grande, we had less than half of the lowest snowpack on record. So beyond believable how snowpack sort of fell off the cliff this past winter. And then in parallel to that, we've experienced incredibly warm temperatures. This March, the average temperature for the upper Rio Grande Basin was 4 degrees higher than the average highest temperature on record.
Blew that
so
one
we
out,
are
huh?
truly experiencing completely unprecedented hydrologic conditions. The 5 hottest years on record in the 130-year period of record occurred in the last 5 years. So not only was this year particularly bad, but we're coming into it after a series of really bad years. And so what we're seeing now, as you just mentioned, is almost 90 miles of river drying in the Middle Valley, so between Cochiti and Elephant Butte, which is almost 50% of the river channel completely dry.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Snowpack, no amounts. Colorado has the same problem, right?
Yeah.
Super high temperatures. That really blows my mind.
Yeah.
4 degrees about the record high isn't the average, right?
It's incredible.
That's global warming, right?
Yeah.
90 miles of riverbed completely dry, no water, not a drop, right?
Right.
That sounds like we got some serious problems down there in the Rio Grande. What do you think, Jess?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have monstrous water problems in the United States, especially in the Southwest.
Yeah.
If we continue to burn fossil fuels, and that's the plan of our president,
right,
it will be hard to see how our climate will revert back to what it was in 1876. Jess and I, we've been studying those pictures, right, Jess?
That's right.
So we got a picture of that.
Yeah, speaking of 1976, this was basically the global temperature map from summer of 1976. You'll notice the colors are a little red, a little blue. And then we flash forward.
Blue.
Yeah,
mostly blue.
And we flash forward to summer of 2024, and there is red all over the place there. And let's see them side by side there. Yeah, 76 on the left, mostly blue, 24 on the right. Very red, very hot.
Okay, so burning coal, natural gas, and oil to generate electricity, and basically that's the biggest polluter for carbon, CO2. Is burning those fuels for electricity. I mean, we have cars and all that other stuff, but the biggest polluter in the country is electricity, generating of electricity
from coal,
from coal, oil, and natural gas.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Will only make our planet hotter. And it will get worse going into the future. The EPA has changed the regulations to accommodate Trump policy of pollute the world to make billionaires money. That's the goal. What are the 20th warmest years on record, Jess?
We looked it up. The top 20th warmest years globally on record have all occurred recently, all in the past 20 years, led by 2024, 2023, and then 2025. Modern tracking shows that every single one of the 20 hottest years recorded since 1850 has taken place within the last 20 years. That's the top global 20 warmest years. Not in the top 20 list is 2008, and it should be ranked about the 8th hottest year. That's incredible, Bill.
Yeah. Basically, everybody take a look at that. Look at the bottom, 16 to 20, and look at the years. Now go up 11 to 15. Look at the years. Go up 6 to 10. Look at the years. Go up ranking 1 to 5. And look at the years. Jess, what do you see? What kind of progression do you? You're the math guy. You can probably see something there, right,
Jess? It's getting hotter and hotter.
Hotter and hotter as time goes on, right? In 5-year bunches, right?
Yeah. 1 or 2 years, 3 years, maybe an anomaly, but 20 out of the past 20.
Yeah. Global warming, baby.
It's happening.
It's going to get worse.
It's happening. Yeah.
Okay. 2015 source. Okay. Global warming, our government. Trump's EPA is changing all the important environmental guidelines. These changes will only increase the effect of global warming in the future. And why does our government call global warming a hoax? Is Trump a big believer in the environment, Jess? What do you think?
Well, let's hear from him.
Yeah, he'll tell us straight out.
Since Teddy Roosevelt, who would have thought? Trump
Teddy
is
Roosevelt,
the great
right?
environmentalist. Do you hear that, Ed? Do you hear that? That's good. And I am. I believe strongly in it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I love Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt and Donald. I have a story. I really should tell you. We don't have enough time. But anyway, I have a story. When Trump was getting sworn in, I thought of Teddy Roosevelt. And I says, he ran a certain patent. And I really hope he turns out to be the Teddy Roosevelt of the 2020 series. 20 decade, right? 21st century, right?
Yeah.
I hope he turns out to be that guy. You know what? He's missed. He ain't nowhere near that guy. Not even close, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, so I was very, very disappointed in Mr. Trump here, you know, but he thinks he's that, right, Jess?
Yeah, he thinks so. He wants us to believe it. Yeah.
How many rules has the EPA eliminated under Trump's guidance here?
Oh, Bill, I'm glad you asked. So far, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, has targeted an initial list of 31 key environmental rules and actions. 31 for rollback or repeal, which later expanded into dozens of broader deregulation initiatives, including major vehicle and climate policy eliminations. The major regulatory changes and repeals include greenhouse gas endangerment finding. The EPA is eliminating the legal basis for federal vehicle emission standards. Vehicle emissions repealed all federal greenhouse gas emission standards alongside rolling back refrigerant transition rules, eliminating any monitoring of the gases released. And power plants and fossil fuels, they initiated rollbacks and repeals targeting previous limitations on power plant emissions and air toxins. So they're rolling back all the rules. They're not going to check.
President Trump on America, cleanest air, cleanest water. He believes that, I think, Jess, does he?
He says he does.
Let's see.
At the same time, we'll maintain America's gold standard environmental protections. The United States will continue to have among the very cleanest air and cleanest water on Earth, which we do now. We have the cleanest that we've ever had, meaning ever.
You know, Jess, reminds me, we keep saying, say something 1,000 times, and what happens?
And people start to believe it.
People start to believe it. That's all he's doing. You know, he's talking about eliminating the pollution standards for automobiles and diesel trucks and stuff like that. We're not going to have the cleanest water. We're not going to have the cleanest air. It's impossible with what he's doing to our country. Okay, basically, the talk is cheap, right? It's easy for him to stand up, say clean air, clean water, right, Jess?
That's right.
He fucking admits all the contamination of the drinking water, right? We know that the EPA is not monitoring those forever chemicals.
That's right.
Right? So if you get forever chemicals in your water, they cause cancer. But, you know, they don't even measure for that stuff anymore, right?
That's right. That's like back in COVID. He didn't want to test for COVID.
No, if you don't test for COVID, if you don't see it, you don't hear it, it's not there.
That's right. Stick your head in the sand.
You got it, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, the majority regulation changes and repeals contradicts what President Trump says about clean air and clean water, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be changing those things and say, hey, we're going to have the cleanest water forever, right? Say it 1,000 times, and you got those forever Trumpers, they'll believe it.
Yeah.
Trump is going to poison our environment that we live in. And we breathe in, without a doubt. It's coming, okay? With all the things. The only way to not do it is to vote these guys out. Midterm election coming up, Jess, right? So why do you think, Jess, why do you think Trump calls global warming a hoax? I mean, what do you think here?
Well, we got a clip of him calling that,
Really?
So we do,
Oh, my God. You're good, Jess. You're good.
This is more recent here. This is more recent Trump.
Then they said global warming will kill the world, but then it started getting cooler, so now they could just call it climate change, because that way they can't miss. It's climate change, because if it goes higher or lower, whatever the hell happens, there's climate change. It's the greatest con job ever perpetrated on the world, in my opinion. The carbon footprint is a hoax, made up by people with evil intentions.
CO2.
And they're heading down a path of total destruction. You know, the carbon footprint was a big, big thing a few years ago. I remember hearing about the carbon footprint, global warming, and the carbon footprint. It's a con job. At extreme cost and expense, Europe reduced its own carbon footprint by 37%. Think of that.
Yeah, think of that.
Congratulations, Europe. Great job. Cost yourself a lot of jobs. A lot of factories closed, but you reduced the carbon footprint by 37%.
Yeah. Isn't that great, huh? It cost him a lot of jobs and a lot of factories. He's making that up. Okay, that's not true. But he's making that up because he can say it and nobody checks those facts. And even if you check the facts, nobody cares, right?
Right, because the lie's already out there.
That's right. So how does 20 years recorded in history have occurred in the last 20 years? Is global warming really a hoax? Just what do you think?
Well, I would say no. I would say it is not a hoax.
Okay.
It is for real.
All right.
Yeah. So who has funded the global warming nightmare we're currently living with today, Bill?
back 20 years ago, there's a group called Global Client Corporation, and this group of deniers of global warming were known in the business world as GCC. Okay.
Okay.
There are power companies, big oil companies, big chemical companies, natural gas pipelines. These industries have the most to gain by getting people to question global warming data, challenge it. Oh, it's not real. They're making it up. Let's check with Frontline and see. Pay close attention to these clips because they're going to explain a lot about what was going on.
As more and more scientists are confirming, our world is deficient in carbon dioxide, and a doubling of atmospheric CO2 is very beneficial.
I was aware that this emerging industry of naysayers was growing. This effort to cast doubt. You had reams of material coming out of the government. They were at NOAA, at NASA, this expanding network of people working on this day in and day out, saying that this was a legitimate issue and that we needed to do something about it. And on the other hand, you had 2 or 3 guys who went around to conferences and said, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, maybe there's clouds.
I would like to show you the warming that the satellites sensed over the same region from 1979 to now, which is the next slide, if you could. Thanks. Nothing.
It quickly became apparent that these were private interests who had a stake in the status quo.
A respectable body of opinion in the international scientific community believes that any climate warming is as likely to be beneficial as harmful.
Dr. K, Colorado about that.
Press, this skeptic, Fred Singer, saying that global warming was not a problem for the planet. You saw that he had worked on tobacco and a number of other issues. He was sort of a specialist in denial. I thought, that's odd.
Yeah, that's odd. So in 1989, the GCC, that Global Client Corporation of big conglomerate businesses, they paid people to sow the seeds of doubt about global warming.
Imagine that. They were all looking. Somebody would sell their soul for $1, right?
Yeah.
To lead everybody down a road to a disaster. That's where we are today. Donald Trump continues to sow the seeds, Jess, of doubt about global warming. Do you think hardworking Americans are being deceived by our president?
I do think so, Bill.
Okay. The CO2 absolutely creates global warming, okay? Yeah. Regardless of what that lady said in the beginning of that clip, it really does. It's a problem. And it was really never beneficial. In the 1990s, there was that small group of deniers. They were compensated for their lies. The group did not prove anything. They didn't prove anything. They just tried to plant seeds of, oh, you shouldn't believe all this stuff. The goal was to cast doubt on the existence of global warming. Something Donald J. Trump continues to do today. And basically, he is a master of casting doubt, without a doubt.
That's right. That's right. So here's another clip from that global warming frontline on PBS.
So you start to think, well, who are these people and where are they coming from? Oh, interesting. They're funded by Exxon's foundation.
Well, imagine that.
Yeah.
And then you see this pattern repeated over and over and over. It was coming from the coal-fired power utilities, Western Fuels Association, the Koch brothers, Global Climate Coalition, and they're funding climate deniers.
We are not an ad hoc group anymore, but as a matter of fact, the Global Climate Coalition formalized not too long ago.
The Global Climate Coalition consisted of every major manufacturing trade association that produced or consumed fossil fuels, and every major company that was in the fossil fuels industry. And so it's a considerable coalition of business interests.
So this Global Climate Coalition, the GCC, at its zenith, the GCC's roster included nearly 80 board level and general members, including major oil like Exxon, Shell, BP. They have automotive members, Ford, GM, and manufacturing corporations, as well as the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Now, the GCC disbanded. The Global Climate Coalition fully disbanded on January 29, 2002, after the Bush administration, W. Bush, withdrew the United States from the Kyoto Protocol. This historical membership roster of the companies and associations that drove the GCC's lobbying efforts prior to its dissolution is organized by industry sector below. And let me show you a graph here of everybody that was involved with the GCC. Here's the fossil fuel and energy corporations. Big list there.
ExxonMobil, PBD Holdings, Philip Petroleum, ARCO, Atlantic Richfield.
Yep, all the way down.
Yep.
Shell, Phillips, all kinds of oil companies there.
Yep, absolutely.
Automotive and heavy manufacturing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Chrysler.
DuPont, Union Carbide, all the chemical companies are big polluters in our world.
Mm-hmm. And then trade associations and advocacy groups, including American Petroleum Institute, American Forest and Paper Association, National Coal Association, some other big names on there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, they all gained up on hardworking Americans, and basically you were going to fool them into believing that there is no global warming, and we basically are demonstrating that there is.
Yeah.
Okay, Jess, I think we're going to wrap this up for today, and we'll kind of pick this up next week for our final global warming podcast. Which I was here to promote billionaires paying for Social Security. And next thing I know, here I am. There's something more important than that.
Yeah.
The global warming is more important. Okay, we got to get that straightened out, folks. Vote these guys out. Anybody that votes for these senators that approve these people that were EPA director Zeldin, whatever the guy's name is. You got to vote those guys out. We got to have people that want to live in a clean environment.
Absolutely.
And that's all I have to say about that. Wake up, America.
Wake up, America.
God bless America. Let's wake it up. Right, Jess?
Very good.
Thank you, Jess.
All right.
Jess, I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Bill.
Over the top great.
Oh, thanks a lot. All right, we'll see you next week. Wake Up America with Bill Crafton.